Calum McIntyre. Well, Calum, congratulations. You needed that win, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it gives us a points return over the first 6 games that isn't possibly what we would have wanted, but given circumstance, and I haven't really had the opportunity to talk about that because it's not right to do it after a defeat, but everything that could have possibly have gone wrong at times during pre-season as well has. And you look at the challenges we've had in terms of injuries, decisions going against us. You look at that on the opening day. Looks an unbelievable point at Alfreton with the run of form that they've gone on. But we nearly go there and win. You then see the goal ruled out with Peterborough Sports, and all of a sudden you go in. It really, really gets you down. And I mean that. I probably take it really personally because it's a football club that I've been involved with for a long period of time. But we take 7 from the first 6 games of the season, when we've seen George Glendon not kick a ball, Louis Earle not kick a ball, Kevin Roberts play for 35 minutes, Anthony Dudley be in and out with injury, and Declan Weeks now that we expect to lose for 6 weeks. You rip 5 players of that quality out of any team in this division, they will struggle. And we've managed to pick up points, both a home win and an away win and an away draw. So we've got to be very, very pleased. So if you'd have asked me before the Alfreton game, we'd have wanted more. I would say if the laws of the game had been applied correctly over the 6 games, we'd have 10. That's playoff form, which, by the way, I think the one thing I've got to try and get my head around totally is around I'm as ambitious as they come, and I want us to be where everyone wants us to be, and that is the right end of this league. But this was never going to be a magic wand that we just wave and we win 6 from 6 at the start of the season. This is a side that won back-to-back games once last season. We're on the back of a disappointing campaign. You then have the challenge that we've had during pre-season. It won't just turn around overnight, and we've got to stick with it. And what I'm really pleased is that today's result represents fans sticking with us, and I think you see that in terms of the backing that they give the players sticking with it, and ultimately are really good at away win at a place that, in terms of our last 6 games against Curzon, I don't think we've won in 4 of those last 6. So as much as people will see it as a fix that we've won, it's opposition that we've struggled against. So yeah, we did need it, but I've learned my job isn't to be happy when we win games, it's to work on the next one.
And it was a complete performance today, wasn't it, from start to finish? Because I think everybody who's in the ground will think that Chester deserved to win this game. We restricted Curzon to very few chances, and we could have had more goals ourselves.
I thought we played well. I don't think we played any better than we have in the previous 5 games. I think what I made the mistake of after Saturday was going on the internet, and I don't think that's done me any good in terms of sort of how I felt. We played well. We restricted a really good Fylde side on Saturday to nothing in the opening 45 minutes. I saw their manager's interview talking about how we hadn't been near their goal. Must have had his eyes closed when Joe Lynch was sent off after our best chance of the game, and when Deck Weeks had a shot in the first half. He must have missed them while he was trying to get our player sent off. So for me, you look at what we've been like over those 6 games, I don't think that performance was any different. I don't think there was any change. I thought you saw the stuff you'd start to associate with our performances. We'll be disappointed with the goal we concede. Really pleased to score from a set play, and then again turn and throw it into something. And I thought we did have chances. You're right, I thought the ball was in and around their 18-yard box against a side that they've picked up some really, really good points. They've gone on away at Kidderminster, so it's important that the result gets the respect it deserves. So pleased with the performance. No more pleased than we have been over the previous 5 games to today.
I know you said there obviously about the defensive performance here today, but you were disappointed with the goal. But like I say, they didn't really create too much else.
No, the goal, it's almost undone from a straight one and not quite being in the right positions. So we, as the ball goes up, lose the drop down, ball comes into the box, and once you're out of sync with how we've tried to be really organised. We've invested so much time over the opening 6 games in that defensive structure, and if you think of the goals we conceded, 2 from set plays on the opening day at Alfreton, the goal at Saturday, totally different when it's 10v9. We haven't looked vulnerable in open play, even really from set plays, particularly when Harrison Burke's on the pitch over the course of those games. So really pleased that the work that the players are putting on the training ground and an appetite for being more defensively solid has reaped its rewards. And when you say disappointed with the goal, I don't mean you can't be critical of these players. I can't. They've been incredible in terms of what they've been put through, what we've had to do with some of them physically, the amount of minutes we've had to put them through, the limited options at our disposal week after week. I don't think people realise the types of the names I've just mentioned that aren't available for selection. You take the sides at the top of this league and you take 5 players of that calibre out of the team, all of a sudden it's a very, very different picture. Never once have we made excuses. I read something about that. Well, no excuses. You've not heard that from us at any point, so I don't know where that comes from. And ultimately we've had to plug away, keep doing the right things. And where I said disappointed for the lads, because I thought it was an excellent defensive performance that really, if it had been 0 against away from home, it would have been something to shout about.
A couple of shout-outs. Alex Kenyon was excellent at the back. I thought led the line really well, and Darren Stevenson did a lot of work off the ball before he set up the goal.
Yeah, Darren the one showed what he's all about. Thought he was excellent. Thought he got us up the pitch. Yes, for the second goal he does very, very well, but particularly in those moments of drop down, his ability to get you up the pitch collectively as a group is really unique for this level. And it's just been difficult about getting Darren those games from the start, and we obviously did it at Peterborough. We weren't able to earlier on, and did really well today, justified his place. And Alex Kenyon is a really experienced footballer that is not, you've seen him playing centre midfield, we might have brought him in to play at centre half, who knows, and we'll see about that as the games develop, but really pleased in terms of how he led the line. But like you say, a host of pleasing individual performances that make up a collective that, look, I keep repeating it, I'm not here to be happy, I'm not employed to be happy. I think I've learned that over the recent days, but what I am is very, very proud of the group and what they've been able to deliver over the first 6 games with challenges. Stuff had gone our way. If we'd have had 10 points from the opening 6 games, that's playoff form. You do that for the 7 blocks of 6 that we've targeted, you're going into the last 4 games with a chance of the playoffs. That's incredible for a club that finished 16th last year, and that's the bit that I keep. It's not going to be a magic wand. It isn't going to be a spell that just things change. So we've got to be pleased with. It's a solid punch return. It's no more, but it's no less. It's a solid punch return for the opening 6 games. That, to be honest, I looked at some of the statistics. Is more than last season, and not a million mile away from the first season that we were in this division. It's in and around. So it's been fine margins for us, but really pleased with, like you say, those individuals, but that collective that they've got something to show for it.
Nice week now to work ahead of the Kings Lynn game, of course, next Saturday. And of course, you'll lose Joe Lynch and also Adam Thomas through suspension. You got any grounds to appeal though, sending off? Have you had a look at them, Donna?
But your fun at parties reminded me of that, yeah, of course. Look, we'll be thinner on the ground than we were today. Don't envisage seeing that weeks back for a real period of time, and we will make a decision as to whether we want to appeal those red cards. It'll be tonight. The relevant staff. We really focused on today's game because losing 3 games on the bounce at this football club isn't something that I want to be the norm. So there had to be a real focus and a concentration, and the players sort of committed to that. So we will see whether it's something. We'll review the footage and all the aspects of that, and then the focus, I'll be honest, you talk about the week, will be on Kings Lynn and making sure a side that haven't seen any results from today. They're at the right end of the table and they're expected to be, but those levels of performance that are produced, even without the results in the first 6 games, let's be clear, those level of performance will put us in good stead against any opposition.
Great win today, congratulations.